The Hermitcraft server's gone a bit wild. I'm standing in an area that is filled with the severed heads of members of the server. The head games have begun, and well, I kind of feel a bit bad because I'm on the non-combatant side, right? But I kind of want to be a part of this. Can I join late? I think I'm going to join late. I mean, I'm a tiny bit terrified because it only started, well, very recently, and already this mayhem has ensued. Now, apparently the only thing that I have to do is write my name on this side of the wall, and that means that I can now be killed for my head. Apparently, though, my head has already done the rounds on the server. So, that's good. I never thought I'd say this, but I am thankful. I'm very thankful for Wandering Traders right now, because that's the only way that people could have got my head. Right, where should I put my diamonds then? I want to buy 400 blocks in the shopping district, because I've come up with an idea for a shop that I actually think is going to be quite cool. So maybe we put them out the back here. Is that good enough? Have I broken any rules? Please tell me I haven't broken any rules. Having taken a look around, I've concluded that this spot right here, in this kind of zone, is perfect. So we need to build up a 20 by 20 square or some form of divisible of 400 blocks, and then we'll be sorted. Property of Mumbo Big Bucks Baggins. Not Baggins, Baggins. Baggins. That was the weirdest clip I think I've ever recorded in my life. Now we are going to be going back over to the shopping district at some point later on in the episode to work on my shop idea, but I've been non-stop thinking about what I'm going to do with my base. Alright, it's been on my mind a lot. So I feel like we should try our best to make a little bit more progress on this thing. I've got a lot of jungle clearing to do because, I mean, if we look at this thing, it's quite a big space. So we need to clear out all of the area around it. We need to drop down this octagon right here so that it's actually on the floor level, so we can start working out how that's going to function. And then I kind of want to start doing some block pallet tests, which is definitely going to be interesting. I'm going to feel so bad when I have to give my Hobbit hilltop a shave. Maybe I leave that, okay, because I can't imagine this without all of that bamboo. We're barely even halfway done, and this is how much wood I've managed to get. That is nuts. This is a big space. Another hour has passed, and this is what we still have. I don't understand. I've filled 3 chests with wood blocks. Is the jungle just regrowing as I'm taking it out? I think the big issue is that there's just so many leaf blocks around, so I'm just going to do some bushwhacking for a while. You know, I think it was in the previous episode that I said that doing this was one of the most satisfying things in Minecraft. I was definitely wrong. I've been doing it for the past 4 hours, and it's well and truly got old. And the jungle's still here! And I've used a stack of iron blocks just on shears alone. That's crazy. Anyway, these 2 trees are the final 2 trees that are left in my jungle. So this is it. These should be the final leaf blocks that I actually have in this area. And if we fly out, I have to say, it does look quite impressive. Like, now that we fly around, it's made me realise, actually I have done... Yeah, I've done quite a lot there. That's a lot. I don't know how I thought that was only going to take like an hour. That's what I had in my head. Okay. Anyway, let's get away from the base building stuff for the time being and start working on a different project. I've received a message from Grian just saying tag to Electric Boogaloo. Tag to Electric Boogaloo. I mean, I saw his thumbnail the other day. It seems like tag has started again, but what on earth is Electric Boogaloo? Does this mean there's going to be dance moves? Are there dance moves involved? I kind of hope that there's dance moves involved. Also, as you can quite clearly see, I can't find any space to put my logs and leaves because my storage system is filled with logs and leaves. I've just bought some firework rockets from the shopping district. I can't help but notice, I think I might have bought the wrong firework rockets. Let's see how this looks. I mean, it's not even impressive looking. Anyway, having put up with that for around about 4,000 blocks, I am now over here in the gravel biome. I'm picking this up so that I can actually start making myself some concrete because we're going to need it for the store that I want to build. But here's the thing. It looks like people have already been to this gravel biome because this is some of the only gravel left. I mean, there's a few spots over there, but for the most part, it looks pretty cleared out. Oh, for goodness sake. That's not what I wanted to see now that I've flown all the way out here. Oh, that's always depressing. Now, I'm honestly not 100% certain what colours I'm going to use for this, so I'm going to grab a handful. And I guess we'll try out different ones. I'm gradually removing all the flowers out from in front of my base, which, you know, could probably do with some clearing up at some point. As much as I love that bouncy castle, I think it might be time for it to go. It has been a while since I've had to do this. It's been a while, and it's more satisfying than I remember, actually. I've gotten used to having to do the TNT stuff and things like that, and don't get me wrong, that is pretty cool. This isn't actually so bad. This view is also very entertaining. Now I am struggling just a tiny bit on how I'm actually going to build like the main shell of this thing. So the idea is that there's going to be a structure, I guess, made out of stone bricks and stone, or the smooth stone that we have in the middle here. We'll have the main structure, and then our concrete is going to be wrapping around, and we're going to have a lot more colours than this, I think. Yeah, I think that's a wise move. And trust me, I will explain my idea for the store in a second. I'm sure all of you are a little bit confused. But now the actual structure is all completed. And I would say it looks pretty cool. I always like the feeling of the texture in the builds. I always like that look of like the notchiness and the different block textures and then the gap between them and stuff like that. I personally like it, and I just, you know me, I like symmetricalness, I like repeating patterns. This is very much a me build. But as you can see, we've got some arrows on the front here. So I've got two interesting things to explain about this shop, because this shop is very different from a lot of the other shops that are on the server. So first things first, this shop isn't going to be sticking around. This is essentially a pop-up shop. To make the most out of the diamonds that I've spent on this plot, I am going to tear down this shop once I feel like it's run its course. And that's what I'm going to do with my shops. So I'm going to build a shop, okay, and then when I feel like, you know, the shop's kind of done its thing, I'm going to tear that shop down and build another shop in its place. So we've got very limited availability here. The next thing that I want to explain is the arrows, okay? Now the reason that I've got the arrows on this shop is because it represents how you actually pay. You see, the deal in this shop is amazing. Alright, because I'm essentially going to be giving away the items in here. There is going to be one set of items available in this shop, and the first person who comes to the shop will be able to get those items for free. However, it comes with a stipulation that they then have to pass a good deed onto another player. So, say for example, Grian walks into this shop and he decides he wants to take the shulker box, okay, and this shulker box is filled to the brim with really good stuff. Much better than the stuff that's currently in my shulker box. What you would then do is take the shulker box away, remove all of the items from the shulker box, but then refill the shulker box with a bunch of good stuff to give to someone else. So for example, he could give a bunch of terraforming supplies to Scar. Scar would then take those items out of the shulker box and refill the shulker box with a bunch of good stuff himself. So you could perhaps give redstone supplies to Iskall. Iskall would then take the redstone supplies, fill up the shulker blocks with slime, and give them to Tango. And you get the idea. This shulker box should be passed around the server with a bunch of different good deeds. I really hope that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. I feel like it makes sense, and I think it could be quite interesting because I've never really done anything like this before. Cool. That's enough rambling. Let's actually get back to work on building it. And I have all of the arrows in place now wrapping around the building, and they do look cool. It's an interesting concept for a build, but there's something not quite right. So I'm trying out adding in some stained glass between each one of the arrows, just so it kind of breaks it up a little bit, because it just isn't quite right. It feels like there needs to be something between the pair of them, if you get what I mean. This is a really tricky build. I'm really struggling here. I've spent a long time on this. That has made a pretty huge difference though. This is definitely an interesting looking store. Okay, so it's not going to win any like beauty awards. It's a bit depressing when you see builds like that and you're like, geez, that just looks fantastic. But this is definitely a very different kind of store. It is unique though. It is unique, okay, and it says exactly what the store does. So I would say that we have been successful. Yeah, you know what I'm going to say? We've been successful. All right, I can often beat myself up. Okay, you know what I'm like? I never refer to myself as a builder. I'm definitely not a builder. Okay, and I would say we have taken a unique and interesting concept and actually managed to bring it into reality. And that is something to be proud of. Cool. Okay, we still have to do the inside. But I think I'm going to go to bed. So, good night. And after AFKing overnight, we got very little iron because of this guy. This guy right here. Now, this has actually happened before, and I have to say, I tried to troubleshoot this for quite some time this morning. I eventually ended up calling up Iskall because he knows a lot more about mob mechanics than me. Essentially, he laughed at me. There's a solid block in this system right here. This block right here. How could I not have noticed that? So the iron golem just spawns there and chills there and then shuts down the entire iron farm. I worry about myself sometimes, I really do. Especially because I opened up the call by saying that iron golems can't spawn in water, so I don't understand why he's in there when my literal spawning platforms are covered in water. The whole farm relies on... I give up. And now Tango's in my base. That's a good thing. I like Tango a lot.
Hello, Mumbo. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm curious as to how you got in. I just kind of came up through here and just saw you chilling out.
A hobbit hole. One of the hobbit holes. Yeah.
one of the hobbit holes.
One of the many hobbit holes. Yes. So hey, I have a task for you, or a request, I should say, if you're okay with it.
Yeah. Well, it depends what it is, but
yeah, I
yes.
guess. Yeah. Give me your head. Oh, no. Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing a little thing with ZF. Okay, we're doing a kind of blindy build off, and we need some hermits to donate some buildable blocks and or items or nonsense. So if I could get you to put 20 unique buildable items in that shulker.
20
unique, yes.
So do they have to be, are we talking, so say for example, if I put like a chest in here, and then when you say unique item, so I can't just put like 26 iron blocks, would that go down as a unique item? Or do you just need singles?
20 individual items that are all different, yes.
Right, okay. Right, well, I suppose I've kind of got the ball rolling here. I guess, yeah, a chest and an iron block.
There you go, perfect, good start.
That's not too bad. Now this is perfect. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with the concept.
Oh man, a green head. They're indistinguishable.
They really are. They really are. In fact, actually, while we're on the topic of why not unemployed villagers,
those are worth points right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually giving you points for the headhunt. Gradually, I made my way through the list and eventually managed to get myself 20 blocks in the shulker box. As far as block pallets go, this is probably the worst.
If I need to build a two-headed minecart thing, I'm okay. Anything else, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, that's a problem. What else? What can be the final thing that I give you?
Make it count. Yep.
Okay, some granite. It's probably my least favorite.
That's fine. All right.
Of the blocks. So there we go. That is your mix.
That is beautiful. That's an amazing magical combination you got.
Fantastic.
All right. So step 2 now is I need you to write a thing that can be built in Minecraft, like kind of a silly thing to build in Minecraft, and then I need you to put your name at the end of it as well. So car-Mumbo. That kind of
That's
thing.
A predictable. That I can understand.
Don't do a car. Yeah,
you can understand why you were doing that. Have actually. I've come up with an idea because I feel like this might be the first time one of these has ever been built in Minecraft.
Oh, so splendid!
I'm honestly not 100% certain how you spell it though, so let me know if this is totally wrong. All right.
Great. So yeah, we're gonna put all these papers. We're getting different papers from all the hermits. We're gonna put them into a dispenser and press a button, and a random one will come out. But, so if we pick yours, I'll bring the results back in a screenshot or something.
I feel sorry for you. I've put it in there.
Okay.
Are you allowed to see it?
I guess I should look. I'm not supposed to, but I really want to. Oh my God. Are you saying?
I mean, a bidet might be.
I think that's going to be interesting,
especially with the block palette that I provide.
Yeah, I know where Green's head's going.
Well, that was interesting. I really can't wait to see the end result of that build off. That sounds hilarious. Anyway, we are now back over at the shopping district, continuing work on our store, and I have to say I've done a little bit of work on the details. I've removed all of the iron blocks from the bottom, and I've kind of given this thing a proper base. I've just cleaned it up a tiny bit, and it has made it probably 4 times better. Like when I left last night, I was like, I think the store's okay, but I'm not so sure on it. Whereas now I think this thing looks really, really cool. And now we also have an interior for this thing. And I've got to say, I've been panicking about lighting this thing up properly. And I've been panicking about the area around it as well, thinking that there's going to be mobs attacking me all the time. I've just remembered, I'm in a mushroom biome. Nothing spawns in here, and that's really interesting because it means that you can start playing with light and dark in your builds. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that I've done it with this build at all, but we can actually start having some moody moody, dark builds in this area. That's gonna be pretty sweet. Anyway, this is what I've currently got. I quite like the idea of the water going around the outside. It's fairly open plan, simply because there's not really going to be too much in here. I think these might be some of the first squid that I've actually seen in Hermitcraft Season 7. Wow, that guy actually... Have squid changed? The squid now... Look, this guy is off! I have never run into issues with squid escaping. Is this a recent addition to the game? Am I going crazy here? What? Anyway, the reason that I'm out here squid hunting is because I need to make a book and quill. See, look, he was chilled. That squid that I ran into, he was like, I'm not having any of this. That's hilarious. But of course, the reason that I need a book and quill is so I can write out how this store is used, because this store's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? And I've made a very, very slight change to the way that the store works that I think actually makes it a lot better. And I can promise you I've rewritten this book about 15 times. I'm struggling so much with the wording. It says, welcome to the Pass It On store. The contents of this barrel are free to take. Woo! With one condition. That was the least energetic woo ever. I apologise, everyone. With one condition, you must refill the barrel with items you think other players will find useful. So, as an example, the barrel is filled with enchanted books and tools. You then take those items and refill the barrel with redstone supplies. The next person takes the redstone supplies and fills it with shulker boxes, and so on. This store operates in good faith, meaning you should always try to replace the existing items with items of equivalent value. Feel free to get creative. Basically, don't fill it with dirt. Happy trading, Mumbo. So, instead of having to pass on the shulker box to specific players, what I thought would be better is if this barrel actually stays within the store and you refill the barrel with things that you find useful, then people can pop into the store, see what's in the barrel. If it tickles their fancy, they can take the items and fill it with something else that the other players of the Hermitcraft server might find useful. I like this idea. It's essentially like a centralized trading post. It seems cool to me. Let's see how well it goes. Hopefully we don't get a barrel full of dirt. Oh, and I feel like it's worth mentioning, I'm not actually going to make any diamonds off of this. I'm not going to earn anything from this shop. I just think it's an interesting concept to play around with on the Hermitcraft server. Anyway, as you can see, my barrel currently reads work in progress. That's because I actually need to fill it up with items, and I need to work out what would be good as the first barrel. Right, this is what I've got so far. We've got iron blocks. I'm going to have 2 stacks of sea lanterns. Don't worry, I'm not going to cheap out on them like that. We've also got all of the supplies to make 8 stacks of concrete, mending books, silk touch books. Would emeralds be a good thing to put in there? I mean, I thought I'd just kind of mix and match with all sorts of different things. I mean, these emeralds are going to pay for diamond armor for the time being, but I think anything left over could be good. It's just this is the first shulker box. It has to be good. What we thinking? This looks nice. I feel like we need a few more emeralds, maybe 32 on each side, so then it's a full stack in total. Then we have 4 more slots. And after deliberating for quite some time, I think I now have the finalized barrel. So this is what it looks like. It looks impressive, doesn't it? When you open up that barrel, that's like, all right, okay. So I think we've got firework rockets in here now. We've got some nether quartz. We've got diamonds too. I mean, this is a box and a half. So this is incredibly useful to pick up, and obviously the thing that the next person swaps in is also going to be really interesting to see. I'm genuinely curious what someone puts into this barrel. Now I thought before I head back to my base, I would just quickly see how these letters fit on top of the build, and to my luck, they're framed perfectly within the structure, so let's see how they actually look on there. Honestly, not sure. Is it because they need to drop all the way down? I mean, I don't know. I was really expecting that to look a lot better. Yep, that was the problem. Now that they go all the way down to the bottom, it actually looks like a solid thing. Oh, that actually looks really cool now. That looks really cool. For some reason, it reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know why. It just has a Wreck-It Ralph vibe. I can't stop flying up into the sky and looking at it. I can't help myself. Nice. This is transformed into a unique little shop. And as I say, can't wait for people to start using it. And earlier on in the episode, I said that thing about pop-up shops. I honestly don't know if I could remove this anymore. We might have to rethink that idea. I like the idea. I like the idea a lot. But then I also really like this store a lot. and I would feel bad removing it, and I also just like the concept of the store as well. I'm interested to see where it goes. Anyway, there's something that I want to do quickly. As you all know, Scar is a customer of Kaguma Enterprises, and he seems very happy with his Kaguma Vault. In fact, he transformed it recently. Yeah, it's now become a Kagumda, because Green keeps stealing his doors. I wonder how that's happened. Anyway, I'm bringing a new product to the market soon, which is called the Kapuma. And I personally think he will be interested in it, so I thought I'd leave a message for him. Hopefully he gets back to me soon. Anyway, coming back to my wasteland, and it definitely is a wasteland. First off, how did I think this was only going to take like 40 minutes to clear? What planet was I living on? But most importantly, yeah, it's looking fairly loggy at this point in time, so I should probably do something about that. Will that make an entertaining time-lapse? I feel like that could actually make an entertaining time-lapse. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a third-person time-lapse. You can watch all of the stumps quickly get removed from my landscape. This actually ended up being a relatively quick job. It only took about half an hour to get all of the stumps removed, and it's added another 5 stacks of logs. I have so many logs now that I actually can't fit them in my storage system. I'm overflowing with wood. It's ridiculous. Anyway, popping back onto the server now, or not, as the case may be. As you can see right here, authentication servers has gone down. So now I logged out of the server just after doing that time lapse, and from there, nope, can't play online. I can't play online. My skin is not being fetched. So this is not the end that I was expecting for this Hermitcraft episode, but it's been a fun one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya! And actually, on the topic of skins and things, sometimes I think about how my entire YouTube channel has been based around that skin that I found by chance. If you look at the start of my YouTube channel, I didn't have this skin that I use. I literally searched mustached businessman, and that's how I got my Minecraft skin. How strange is that?
One.